everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So today's video is going to be my favorites video, my favorites of 2022. So this is definitely a more kind of like end of year wrap up type of series. I did do a mid-year favorites video. I did that in June, I believe. And so I will link that video down below because I really tried to keep in mind those products because I didn't want to be too redundant. Some of these products are definitely going to be repeats, but I only wanted to repeat them if I felt like they deserved, you know, more time in the spotlight, if you will. So before we begin, I did film this makeup look. This was actually my festive get ready with me video where I created a look. It was like a get ready with me. So be sure to check out this video or that video if you want to know how I got this look. And I did use the Makeup Revolution and Grinch palette to create the look. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a lot of products to talk about. Okay, so the first product is actually going to be, we're probably going to do it in order of like how I apply my makeup. So firstly, I did want to talk about primer. So primer is definitely something that is very, you know, dependent upon the person, how they, you know, maybe their skin type or things like that. I tend to kind of prefer different things. So sometimes I like matte primers, sometimes I like more glowy primers, but I have two that I wanted to speak about. So the first one is this one from Milk Makeup, and this is called the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. So I really enjoy this primer because it really does smooth out the skin. It also really does create a nice smooth base before foundation. I really enjoy how it prolongs my makeup. I like the way makeup goes on top of it. I just overall think that it's a beautiful primer and it really does create a nice base. I had a little sample of this and that's how I found out that I really enjoyed it. And then this is a mini that I picked up during the last Sephora sale. So I do recommend this one, especially if you do have oily skin. I have more combo / normal skin, but I definitely am able to get this to work for me and I really enjoy it. Another primer, which is completely opposite on the spectrum as far as the type of primer that it is, and it is the one from Rare Beauty. This is the Always an Optimist Illuminating Primer. This obviously I didn't pick up this year, but I truly did fall in love with it this year. So this is really, really stunning on the skin. It definitely creates more of a glowy base on the skin, and it really does make my skin look really nice and glowy and hydrated and moisturized, and I really enjoy the way that it leaves my skin feeling prior to going in with foundation. That's something that a primer is really supposed to do. It's really supposed to prep the skin for foundation, and really it's supposed to make a difference, and I do feel like this one does do that. So I really wanted to recommend this one because first off, I recommend the mini because the mini there's a lot of product in this. So it's actually half of a fluid ounce. So you get quite a bit of product in here. And for a mini, I would go with this because it's going to be more affordable. You get a lot of product and it's just really beautiful on the skin. I also feel like if you have oily skin, this could still work for you. And then I wanted to mention my primer spray. So I want to say I picked this up this year. I'm not entirely sure. This is my NYX Bare With Me Prime, Set, and Refresh spray. I love this. I love this before, basically after I go in with my primer, before I go in with foundation. I love this. I don't know. I just really enjoy that step in my routine. It's definitely not a necessity. It's definitely something it's not needed, but I like it. I really like doing it. And I find that this product works really well for that specific, you know, way that I use it. Now let's get into foundation. I have 4 foundations. I definitely didn't need that many, but I really enjoy all of these and I wanted to talk about them. So firstly, this foundation has completely stolen my heart. I love it so much. I think it is so pretty on the skin. I think that it's very lightweight. It's good coverage. It's beautiful on the skin as far as like how it sits on the skin. And it's the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. As I'm sure you can see from the close-up, I have used a ton of this already. I do have the shade 2 to 3 light, and I do think that it's a little bit deeper for me. I probably would need either the one below it or 2 below it because it is a little bit deeper for me. But what I love about this is, first off, the thing I hate about it is the packaging. The packaging sucks because it's in this pump. The pump doesn't work very well. I pretty much have to like get the applicator and just like paint it on my face, I guess. So I hate the packaging, but what I love about the foundation is that it's very lightweight. So even though I maybe feel like I went in with too much at first, it blends out really easily and really beautifully. It coats the skin evenly. I don't feel like I'm desiring more after I apply this, and this wears so beautifully throughout the day. I feel like it fades gracefully. It doesn't fade ugly throughout the day. I don't have to worry about like, I wouldn't say this is my most long wearing foundation by any means, but it definitely is going to be a beautiful everyday foundation that you could wear up until about 12, 16 hours. So I really love this one. I recommend it. And the cheapest you'll probably find this is probably at Walmart. So maybe pick it up there because it is a little bit pricier in other places. Then a foundation that, sticking with drugstore, that kind of took me by surprise. I'm honestly really surprised at how much I used it when it was in my Shop My Stash. I took this with me traveling, and I was really, again, just kind of surprised that I used it so much and that I really liked it. And it is from Neutrogena, and this is the Matte CC Cream. I have the shade Porcelain 2.0, and this one is definitely more full coverage than the L'Oreal one that I just spoke about. This one is going to be definitely a medium to full coverage. It's going to wear very well throughout the day. It's thin as well. It's very liquidy in consistency, so it's going to blend out really easily. And again, it's just lightweight and it feels comfortable on the skin, especially for it being a more, I guess, like full coverage foundation. It still wears surprisingly well. It still blends out surprisingly well. So I wanted to talk about this one because, like I said, I was using it a lot, especially when I did take it traveling, because I like traveling with this one because of the packaging. It's not a glass bottle or anything. It's an easy squeeze tube. And again, because it is very long wearing and it does cover up a lot. And I tend to have maybe more redness, or maybe I'll break out when I travel just because of the change of setting and all of that. So wanted to mention that one. I have been pleasantly surprised with that one this year. Another one that this is definitely a more special occasion type foundation because of how just kind of full coverage it is, and also because of how long wearing it is. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation, and I do have the one, the shade 6N. So this foundation, it's kind of weird packaging because it's kind of coming out of like this squeeze tube here, but this foundation is very full coverage. This is very full coverage. If you are needing something to cover up a lot of things like redness, acne, I don't know, discoloration, dark spots, that kind of thing, this will cover it. This is definitely, for it being yummy skin, it's not as glowy as I thought it was going to be. This is going to be more of a natural finished foundation. I do still set, and I can see a little bit of the glow still coming through, but I don't think if you have oily skin, I don't think it'll be an issue. I think you could probably still use this foundation and probably like it, but definitely set it. But this has decent coverage, like very, very good coverage, not decent, very good coverage, and it does wear very well throughout the day, and there are a ton of shades available in this one as well. And then a very just good everyday solid foundation is this one from Shiseido. This is the Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation, and I do have the shade 220 Linen. And this foundation, what I like about it is that it is a perfect medium coverage foundation. It's not too full coverage, it's definitely not too light coverage where I feel like I need more. This is going to be a good kind of middle of the road foundation, and again, it wears really well. It's not going to wear as well as like maybe the Danessa Myricks one, but it's definitely going to give me a good 8 to 10 hours wear. And I pretty much wear foundation every day for work, and so I am able to kind of test out a foundation and see how long it'll last me throughout the work day. And so I will go, like as I'm going to the, to the restroom periodically throughout the day, I will check how my makeup looks in the mirror, and I can see maybe breakdown at what time. And a lot of these tend to wear really well. I don't see any type of fading in certain spots or that it's breaking down in certain areas. Obviously, some foundations are worser than others, but this is definitely one that's going to be great for every day. Then I have concealers. So I have two drugstore concealers, and let me start with those. So firstly, I don't think I've ever really spoken that much about this one on my channel, but it's the NYX Bare With Me Serum Concealer, or Concealer Serum. I do have the shade Light. And this concealer, again, kind of like the Rare Beauty, I didn't pick it up this year, or maybe I did, I don't know. But this concealer is one that I fell in love with, especially this year. This concealer is very hydrating underneath the eyes. It makes your under eyes look very healthy, glowy, and it doesn't emphasize any fine lines or texture. And this is one that I feel like as the day progresses, like as I'm wearing this concealer longer, my concealer looks good, and my under eyes look good. So this is definitely kind of a pleasant surprise to me, because at first I didn't think that I liked it very much, but now as I've been using it more, I have really fallen in love with this one. Then a concealer that has definitely kind of taken the, like, my collection, my concealer preferences by storm, is the Morphe Filter Effect Soft Radiance Concealer. Now this concealer is absolutely beautiful underneath the eyes. It is nice and creamy, it's hydrating, it's a little bit glowy underneath the eyes, very similar to the NYX. I feel like it doesn't make my under eyes look dry, they don't look cakey throughout the day, they don't emphasize my fine lines. I feel like this one just kind of sits really nicely over my under eyes, and I just really enjoy it. And then my final concealer is Huda Beauty, and it's the newer one from her. It's the Faux Filter Luminous Matte Concealer. This is stunning. This is absolutely beautiful. I feel like a lot of people are enjoying this one. Some people aren't, but definitely it's more, I feel like, on the positive side of reviews. So this one is going to be a lot more full coverage than the next one, than the Morphe one. This one is definitely going to be more full coverage, but it doesn't have that full coverage, thick concealer type of vibe to it. It's going to be full coverage, but it's going to give you more of like a radiant finish, more of a natural finish, which is what I really enjoy about it. And in this one, I do have the shade 2.7 in Coconut Flakes. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into some powder. So powder, I think I just have two to mention. This first one has definitely been, again, kind of a pleasant surprise. I picked it up on a whim. It was very random. I wasn't planning on getting it, but I needed a powder because I needed like an emergency makeup kind of thing. And so I picked up from Walmart the L'Oreal Hydra Perfect Loose Setting Powder. This is stunning, you guys. This is absolutely stunning. It makes your skin look so perfected, so like almost like there's a filter, like Facetune or something. Like, it makes your skin look really, really nice. And I feel like I can really only find this at Walmart, so I would definitely give Walmart a go if you're wanting to test this one out. And I do have the shade Translucent 916. Another powder that I wanted to mention, and this I definitely talked about in my video that I filmed and posted in June. I don't care though, because I genuinely love this and it deserves another shout out on my channel, and it's my Makeup Revolution Powder Foundation. This is the Conceal and Define Satin Matte Powder Foundation. I have talked about this to death. This is a product that I love so much and that I talk about a lot here on my channel, but I don't care. I love it. It is so good. It definitely deserves all of the attention, all of the hype that I give it. It's actually like a lot of the shades are sold out on Ulta, so I don't know. I hope they're not discontinuing this. I would be so upset with Makeup Revolution if they did. I feel like Makeup Revolution doesn't really discontinue a lot of their stuff, so I'm thinking not, but this is absolutely beautiful. This is perfect. I use it so often. I picked that up this year and I already have Major Pan in it. So that's super, like, that should tell you something about that product. Now let's get into bronzer. So I have 3 cream bronzers that I want to talk about. The first one is, again, from Makeup Revolution, and I've talked about this a lot recently, so I apologize, but this is the cream bronzer from them, and I do have the shade Light. So this one, what I love about it is that to me it's very beginner friendly because it's pigmented. However, it blends out really evenly and nicely and easily. I don't have to worry about me putting too much at once and then I'm scared and I can't blend it out. I don't have that issue with this one. It just is really beautiful. I love the shade of it as well. So this is super affordable at like $8, and it's not even just good for the price. It is good in general. This definitely competes with my high-end bronzers. Then I wanted to mention my Milani Liquid Contour. This came out not that long ago. They came out with like eye brighteners, contours, and liquid highlighters. I think they're supposed to be like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. I love this. So this is the Milani Liquid Contour in the shade Honey. And this, first off, the packaging is very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury where it has the poof ball in the bottom, but this blends out so easily. I just do dots all over the perimeters of my face where I want to contour, where I want to bronze my skin, and it blends out beautifully. I don't have any issues with blending it out. The color Honey is really nice for my skin tone, and I think this is like 10 times better than the Charlotte Tilbury one in my opinion. I've tried the Charlotte Tilbury one and I wasn't obsessed with it. I am, however, obsessed with this one. The other cream bronzer that I tried this year that I love is the one from Persona. And this is the Bronze Multi-Stick and I have the shade Dune. I did pick this up during one of the 21 Days of Beauty sales from Ulta. And this, what I like is that it's just very easy to use. I just draw it on my face and blend it out with the brush and it's boom, bam, it's done. It's very easy. The color is really nice. And I really just don't have anything negative to say about it. I just think it's a really good bronzer. It's a very good cream formula. I'm actually going to be talking about one of the cream blushes here in a little bit. So I think Persona has killed it with the cream formula. Then I have a powder bronzer to talk about, and this is only, so I talked about a few powder bronzers in my other video, so if you want more bronzer recommendations when it comes to powder, check out that video. But the one powder bronzer I wanted to talk about right now is this one from Jaclyn Cosmetics. It's the Pressed Powder Bronzer in the shade Skinny Dip. So firstly, this bronzer smells absolutely wonderful. It smells kind of like pancakes, but I don't think it's supposed to smell like that. I think it's supposed to smell kind of like toffee nut or something, but it smells like legit pancakes, but it smells good regardless. But I just really like this formula. I love the shades also that she has within this bronzer line. And I don't know, like, the formula is nice and smooth. It's very blendable. It builds up nicely, which is what I like because I like bronzers that I can go in a few times to kind of build color. But I also don't want something that I'm going to be there for like 500 years trying to build it. This one is like that good in between. And again, I really enjoy the shade. The packaging is a bit bulky because it's very, you know, it's pretty big, but this is a good one, you guys. This really is. And if you're wanting to try out some products from Jaclyn Cosmetics, which I really do recommend her brand, I would recommend if you have an in-store, like Morphe store near you, wait until they have sale like store wide, because I think I got this for like 50% off in store at Morphe. So just wanted to throw that out there. Now I wanted to get into blushes, and my favorite probably blushes of the year were probably my Bare Minerals bronzers. So I firstly started off with the shade Kiss of Pink. Really love this one. This is really great if you have fair to light skin tones. It's going to give you that really nice pink flush kind of sunburny look to your cheeks. Love that one. And then later I picked up the shade Kiss of Rose. Kiss of Rose is definitely my favorite. I love this one. I wore this a ton during the summer. I reached for it so regularly. And then recently I picked up from someone on Poshmark, I picked up the shade Kiss of Copper. So now I have all three of them. I'm really excited about that because I love this formula so much. This formula is like a highlighter optional kind of formula because it really is nice and glowy on the skin. Your cheeks look nice and healthy when you wear these. So love these blushes. They were my favorites all of 2022, especially during the summer. So I wanted to go ahead and mention those. And then for another powder blush that, again, I kind of took with me traveling and I just reached for it all the time. It's my Patrick Ta powder blush. So this is the Monochrome Moment Velvet Blushes, and this is in the shade She's Passionate. Really enjoy this one. I think for me what it is with this blush is it's really the shade. The shade is like this perfect everyday blush color. It matches a lot of eye looks, it matches a ton of lip products. Like, it is just a really good everyday type blush. And so I definitely wanted to shout this one out because I used it a lot when I was traveling because of the fact that it's such an everyday color, and the formula is really nice as well. Then for cream blushes, I have two that I wanted to talk about. The first one is my Moira cream blush. These are so good, you guys. This is the Love Heat cream blush, and I have the shade I Need You. And the shade I Need You is very beautiful. It's perfect for fall, in my opinion, because it's a really nice, just kind of deep red color. And these are pretty comparable to the Tower 28 cream blushes. So if you are looking for a dupe for those, I definitely recommend these. But I really love how, like, these are not as emollient as the Tower 28 ones, and the Tower 28 ones can definitely be a little bit too sticky, a little bit too emollient for me, but I set my face anyway, so that doesn't bother me all day long, just at initial application. These are not as emollient, so these are gonna blend out a little bit easier. They're not gonna be as sticky. They're not gonna leave your face feeling wet for as long. So yes, really love this one, and I really love the shades that they have in this Moira line as well. And then the second cream blush that I wanted to mention is this one from, again, Persona. I mentioned that I'd mentioned another blush, and this is in the shade Teddy. Mainly the shade. Honestly, the formula too. The formula is so good, but the shade Teddy is so beautiful. So it's kind of like that in between where it kind of looks like it could be bronzer, but also it's a very rosy, nudie type of blush. And it's just beautiful, and the formula is so good. It blends out so easily. I literally just like draw it on the back of my hand and then go in with my brush and place it on my cheeks, and I love it. So really love the Persona cream formula, and I love the shade Teddy for sure. Then I wanted to mention highlighters. So I have quite a few here. So the first one is definitely not a new product by any means. This has been out for so long, and it's from Wet n Wild. And it's one of their Mega Glow highlighting powders in the shade Precious Petals. So this one is definitely more of like a pinky, peachy, kind of champagne highlighter. It's very beautiful. It doesn't emphasize any texture. It's very nice and smooth on the skin. So I wanted to mention this one because I have fallen in love with this highlighter formula this year. Another one that is a very recent pickup for me is the Pat McGrath highlighter in the shade Lunar Allure. This one again is very smooth on the skin, and this is a little bit of an icier color, but it works just fine for me. I don't find it too icy. This is just very, very smooth on the skin. It's definitely very punchy. You have to like highlighters that have a lot of pigment to them to like this one, but I recently picked this one up and I love it. And then finally, I have my highlighter from Haus Labs, and this is the BioRadiant Gel Powder Highlighter in the shade Peach Quartz. Really enjoy everything about this. I love the packaging, I love the embossment, I love the color, and this formula is definitely a little bit trickier, so you really do have to kind of keep in mind the type of brush that you're using. I feel like in order for this product to work for me, I have to use a little bit of a denser highlighting brush, and once I do that, it applies absolutely beautiful. So love this one, and the shade Peach Quartz is really beautiful. Then I have a cream highlight, and I really got into like liquid highlighting and cream highlighting this year. However, I did pick up the Merit cream highlighter, and I really, really like it. It's very beautiful. I have the shade Kava. It's definitely going to be more of like that wet glass sweaty kind of look to your cheeks, but for me, I think that's pretty. Like, especially during the summer, this was definitely a staple for me. I think it looks really, really pretty on the skin during the summer because again, it kind of does mimic like sweat a little bit in a way. So I love that one, and I wanted to mention that one. All right, now let's go ahead and get into what's next. We can do, I guess, eye products, lip products. Let's do eyes. So I don't want to talk about any eyeshadow palettes because I may do some type of eyeshadow palette video. So I kind of want to wait to see how that goes. Also because it's hard for me to pick favorite palettes of the year because I do shop my stashes. So I rotate through my palettes as much as I can. So I'm not really gravitating towards just one palette throughout the year, if that makes sense. But I do have like favorites when it comes to like eyeshadow singles. So a favorite of mine this year were definitely my Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. These are like the little cream shadows. So my love started with the Oyster Pearl shade. So I love these because they're perfect for work. They're very nice and easy and simple to use. I just really rub my finger through the cream and then I apply them on my eyelids, and they wear pretty much all day long. So this is the shade Oyster Pearl right here. It's a beautiful kind of bronzy taupe color, really pretty. This is definitely my favorite one. And then I purchased, I think I have 3 more, but I just have 3 to show you right now. I have the shade Star Gold, and this one is definitely more of a, I don't know, coppery gold color. So this one, I haven't used this one a lot, but again, this is just a really nice creamy whipped formula, and it's beautiful for work. And then I have the shade Amber Gold, which is definitely, again, just more ambery. You can definitely see kind of like the honey notes in this one. And again, just perfect for every day, perfect for work. I mean, these are stunning. And so these are a way for me to kind of create a quick and easy look. So I've been gravitating towards those a lot. And then also, ever since these were released from e.l.f., they're No Budge Cream eyeshadows, I've been liking these too. So I have 2 shades. I have the shade Canyon, which is a really nice kind of peachy pink color. Really pretty for every day. I know that pink is maybe something you wouldn't want to put on your lids, but this is a little bit more muted, and it definitely leans kind of more coral. So this just wears all day long on your lids, and it does look really nice and effortless. The other shade that I have is in the shade Sand Dune, and this is more of a kind of taupey color. This one is very pretty. It kind of reminds me of a Tom Ford cream shadow that I have with the shade. And this one, again, is just a really nice kind of cool toned brown color. And again, these just wear all day long, and they're perfect for quick everyday looks that look like you put in a lot of effort, but you really didn't. And then kind of keeping with that, I've also been loving just like my Super Shock shadows from ColourPop, maybe liquid shadows I've been enjoying, but also these shadows from Moira. These are really beautiful. These are the Lucent Cream shadows. I have 3 of them. So I have the shade Jupiter, which kind of looks like it's a duochrome. It's very, very beautiful. And these don't feel like cream shadows, especially in comparison to the e.l.f. or the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I have the shade Infinity. And then lastly, of the Moira shadows, I have the shade Orion. And this one is definitely more of like an everyday kind of gold bronze color. So these I like because they're very easy to use in the sense of like, I literally just use my finger, put them on my eyelid. And also, again, they look like very dimensional on the eyes. And that's something that I love about singles, like whether it's Super Shock shadows or these or the cream shadows. I like something that's only one shadow, but it looks like maybe you're wearing 2 or 3. And I feel like sometimes these types of single shadows can kind of give you that effect. So that is really something that I actually do weekly. So I definitely use my eyeshadow palettes, like the ones that I pick out from my Shop My Stash. But I also use the singles because they're a way for me to create quick and easy looks throughout the week. Maybe I don't have time, maybe I'm too tired, but I still want to look put together. I still want to have something on my eyes. That is definitely a way that I do that with those shadows. Then I have lip products, and we're pretty much done. So I have an obsession with Tarte lip products. Look at all of these. I have an obsession. I love them, I love them, I love them. I can't stop and I won't stop. So I actually picked up, they had a 9-piece set from QVC. Just pick it up. Like, they are so good. They have the lip creams, which are more of the lipsticks. They have the juicy lip plumps, which not my favorite. My favorites are still just the original Juicy Lips, but I love these so, so much. So I purchased that huge set. So I'm still loving these. I also picked up the holiday set from Tarte, and I love that. And yeah, love those. I'm still loving those. I don't think I'll ever stop loving them because they're just so quick and easy and beautiful on the lips. I also have been liking these two NYX lip glosses. So they're from the This Is Milky line. I have the shade Oob Milkshake and Cherry Skimmed. So this one is Cherry Skimmed. This one is a really pretty kind of like My Lips But Better type of lip gloss. It definitely almost looks like it's like a BB cream for your lips because it's just, I don't know, it really just kind of like revamps your lips. Like it kind of takes them up a step, like up a notch. Love Cherry Skimmed. And then Oob Milkshake is definitely more of just like, it's kind of unique in the sense because it's more mauve toned, but it's again, just so beautiful. And this is Milky gloss formula is so nice and comfortable and non-sticky. So I really enjoy those as well. Then I wanted to mention my Rare Beauty Glossy Balms, I think. And I have the shade Nearly Neutral. And this is a very unique formula. So this one is going to be definitely a lip gloss balm. So it's going to look like a lip gloss, but it's going to feel a little bit more balmy, but it's a little bit thicker than a lip gloss. And it definitely does have maybe a little bit more staying power again than a regular lip gloss. So I really enjoy, it's mainly the shade for me. The shade Nearly Neutral is just very beautiful. And then I wanted to mention my Merit lip oil. So this is the shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil, and I have the shade Marrakesh. And this is mainly the color for me. I love the color. The color is so beautiful. It's perfect for every day. So I wanted to highlight this one. It's definitely not long wearing on the lips, but it makes my lips feel nice and hydrated and moisturized. And then again, I love the color. And then I wanted to mention a few more lip products. This is from YesStyle. It's the Etude Fixing Tint. So the brand is Etude, and I do have the shade Midnight Mauve. So this is, it definitely goes on kind of like a gloss, and then it literally is a stain. Like it really does stain your lips. And I wanted to mention these because the shades that they have of these are absolutely beautiful. I actually want to pick up one more of these. The shade Midnight Mauve is very beautiful, but I want something that's maybe a little bit more nude, maybe a little bit more kind of terracotta or something. But this formula is just so unique. It really is a stain, and it really does last a long time. So, and they're affordable. So I wanted to mention that. I have a CoverGirl lipstick, and I've talked about this a lot, so I apologize if I'm a broken record, but I love this. This is part of their Simply Ageless line, and these lipsticks are the ones that have like this core inside of them, and I have this shade Elegant Nude. Definitely recommend these lipsticks. I highly recommend them. They're so moisturizing and hydrating. They're perfect for every day, easy to just kind of throw on and walk out the door. Love these. And then I have two higher end lip products. So I mentioned this one in that video that I did in June, but it really is just a favorite lipstick of mine. This is the ABH Satin Lipstick, and I have the shade Peach Amber. Really enjoy this formula. The satin lipstick formula is just absolutely beautiful. It's non-drying. It makes your lips look nice and plump and juicy, but still very opaque. It has full opacity. The color Peach Amber is just so beautiful. It's like an elevated nude. Really enjoy that one. And then my Rare Beauty lipstick. I love this one so much. This is the Kind Words lipstick, and I have the shade Gifted. This has just been a love of mine for the fall season. I love this matte formula. It's comfortable, and I feel that even though this is a darker shade, if I really do have my lips nice and hydrated before, I do get like an even coat. So I wanted to highlight this one because I've been wearing it a ton. The shade Gifted is a very unique color, so I just recommend that shade alone, but the line is really good as well. And then I wanted to mention my favorite lip oil. I love this lip oil so much. Look how much I've used of this. Like, look at this. This is the Jaclyn Cosmetics lip oil. I am pretty much done with this guy. And I have the shade Rose Jet Drip. I definitely want to pick up more of these. I'm so in love with these. These are such a good lip oil formula. They're nice and thick on the lips, but they don't feel too thick where it's like goopy. This is just a phenomenal lip oil. I'm so impressed. Again, a lot of good Jaclyn Cosmetics products out there for sure. And then the final product, this very long video. I am so tired of talking, but I have to mention this. This is one of the best setting sprays to ever exist, in my opinion, and it's this one from Makeup Revolution. This is the Fix and Glow Dewy Finish setting spray. Really love this one. I have Sarah Rose to thank for this. This is definitely a dewy setting spray, but it will not make you look glittery, sparkly, oily. It's just going to make your skin look healthy. It's just going to really bring all of your complexion products together. It's going to melt all of your products together to become one with your skin. I could be having the worst, absolute worst makeup day when it comes to maybe like the way that my foundation looks, or maybe my makeup looks too powdery or something, and then I can just throw this on top and it will look amazing. Like, this makes my makeup last really well throughout the day, but it also just makes my skin look so beautiful and hydrated. There is a little bit of like, I don't want to say glitter, but definitely some type of shimmer in the bottom, and there's a little agitator like ball in there, so you really do make sure you want to like shake it up. But this is just so beautiful, you guys. I want to say this is supposed to be like a dupe for like the Iconic London spray. I've never tried that stuff, but I have tried this. I own this. I use it all the time, and it's very good. So, wow. Those are all of my favorite products from 2022. That is a ton, I know. I'm sorry for how long this video probably is going to be. Check out again the video that I did in June, because there's a lot more products again that I talk about that are still favorites of mine. I just didn't want to be redundant, so I will link that below. I'll also link the video where I created this look with you guys, so if you want to check that out. But if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I'd love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye!